Forged during a time when gold meant stability, the Krugerrand of 1975 represents an era, a time when economies shook, when global currencies fluctuated, and when people turned to bullion as refuge. This coin emerged from the South African mint as both a promise and a symbol, a promise of intrinsic value, a symbol of national pride. On one side, you see the imposing visage of Paul Kruger, former president of the South African Republic, his stern features capturing resolve. On the opposite side, a springbok antelope mid-leap, graceful and strong, set against a plain field that lets the animal's form dominate. The Krugerrand's formulation, 22-karat gold, balanced with copper, gives it a rich, warm tone and ensures durability. Gold alone, while beautiful, is soft. Mixed with copper, it becomes resilient, able to withstand handling and time. 1 full ounce, nearly 32 grams of weight, each coin reflecting the precise craftsmanship of minting. Its design crisply struck, its edge grooved and exact, its gold content guaranteed. Collecting this coin is not simply about holding metal. It is about connection to a landscape of rugged mountains and golden sunsets, to a nation's legacy, and to the timeless allure of bullion. When you examine its bloom, the way it gleams, you are participating in centuries of human fascination with gold itself, the element that shaped empires, that funded exploration, that provided security in turbulent times. Scarcity also adds its power. While hundreds of thousands of these coins were minted over the years, finding one in excellent condition, with clear details, with minimal wear, is far from ordinary. Each scratch, each mark tells part of its journey. A coin preserved in brilliant condition or with proof-like qualities becomes something collectors whisper about, something they chase. The search for high-grade specimens pushes value upward. Moreover, its appeal crosses categories. It is cherished by bullion investors who recognize that gold maintains value when currencies falter. It is prized by numismatists who pursue design, history, rarity. It is treasured by storytellers who see in every coin a story of place and time. This coin sits at the intersection, precious metal, art, history, economics all in one round form. Years pass, and yet the Krugerrand holds its own against time. Inflation chips away at paper promises. Gold does not yield. It reflects light even when the world dims. As collectors' markets grow, as global wealth concentrates, as curiosity about our past deepens, pieces like the 1975 Krugerrand gain momentum in value. Picture this. Someone holds this coin between their fingers, aware that its survival through decades makes it rare, aware that the patience of collectors has elevated its worth, aware that its beauty is undeniable. They know its story, why it was minted, how it survived through change, how each detail from the lettering to the relief of the springbok matters. They understand that this coin is not just gold and not just South African. It is a tangible piece of heritage. Welcome back, friends. Before we dive in, if you love uncovering hidden treasures and fascinating pieces of history, hit that subscribe button and make sure you're part of our journey. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming today. Now, let's talk about something truly extraordinary. Picture yourself holding a small, seemingly ordinary coin. At first glance, it might look like just another piece of metal, something you might pass by in a drawer or forget in your wallet. But this is no ordinary coin. This is a piece of history, a slice of a bygone era that whispers stories of a country, its people, and a time that many of us remember vividly. Imagine South Africa in the late 1960s. The country was going through tremendous change, politically and socially. Yet, amidst all this, the minting of coins continued, carrying forward the rich traditions of craftsmanship and symbolism. And in 1968, a coin was born that would later become the stuff of legends, the 1 Rand gold coin. The 1 Rand gold coin is not just gold, it's a story in metal. On one side, it proudly bears the image of the springbok, the iconic symbol of South Africa, leaping with elegance and strength. For many, it represents more than a national emblem. It embodies resilience, pride, and a connection to the land. On the other side, the date, 1968, sits as a silent witness to history, marking the year this treasure came into existence. Hold it in your hand, and you can almost feel the weight of time pressing gently, reminding you that some things grow more precious with every passing year. But what makes this coin truly fascinating isn't just its design or its historical significance. It's the rarity, the craftsmanship, and the story of its survival. Over time, many coins are lost, melted down, or simply forgotten. Yet, some endure, quietly waiting for someone to recognize their value. Someone who understands that history isn't just in books, it's in your hands. And that's where the magic of collecting comes in. For those of us who remember the thrill of collecting, whether stamps, coins, or memorabilia, there's something unmatched about holding a piece of the past that carries both beauty and history. Every scratch, every mark, tells a story. Every gleam of gold reminds us of a time when the world was different, yet somehow familiar. There's a certain satisfaction in knowing that an object, small as it may be, has survived decades, enduring the hands of countless people, and yet remains as striking today as it was the day it was minted. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about why collectors, especially seasoned ones, chase coins like this. It's not just about the metal, although gold certainly has its allure. It's about legacy. It's about owning a piece of history that few people will ever have the privilege to see, touch, or hold. It's about connection to the past, to craftsmanship, to the stories etched in metal. And the 1 Rand gold coin from 1968 delivers that connection like very few other coins can. Picture the thrill of discovering this coin tucked away in an old collection or passed down through generations. It's not just a coin. It's a conversation starter, a family heirloom, a testament to the passage of time. When you hold it, you're holding the same piece of South African history that countless others admired decades ago. That's why collectors don't just buy coins. They chase experiences, emotions, and the intangible thrill of owning something rare and unforgettable. And speaking of rarity, let's talk numbers for a moment. Coins like the 1968 1 Rand gold were minted in limited quantities. Over time, many have disappeared into private collections, banks, or even into melting pots for their metal value. What remains today is scarce, coveted, and increasingly valuable. For collectors, scarcity drives passion. For investors, it drives value. And for anyone with an appreciation for history and beauty, it's simply mesmerizing. This coin is also an example of meticulous craftsmanship. In an era without the technology we have today, skilled artisans and mint workers carefully designed and produced each coin with precision. The springbok on the front isn't just a design, it's a work of art. Every line, every curve was etched with care, ensuring that even decades later, the coin would stand as a symbol of elegance and skill. And when you run your fingers over its surface, you can feel the dedication and artistry that went into creating something meant to last for generations. Collectors love stories, and this coin is one of the richest. It represents an era when gold was more than an investment. It was a symbol of stability and wealth. It represents a time when the simple act of minting a coin could carry national pride and identity. And for those of us who value the past, who love to reminisce about the way things were, it's a tangible reminder that history isn't just something we read about. It's something we can hold, something we can admire, and something we can pass down. Now, let's bring it full circle. Imagine holding this coin today, knowing its story, understanding its rarity, and appreciating its craftsmanship. It's a small, golden object with immense significance. And here's the part that truly blows people away. Despite its modest size, the 1968 1 Rand gold coin can fetch an astonishing value in the collector's world. With its scarcity, historical significance, and demand among seasoned collectors, this coin has reached a market value that seems almost unbelievable. Yes, you heard that right. Up to $8 million. Think about that for a moment. A coin that you could hold in the palm of your hand, something so small it could easily be overlooked, has a value equivalent to a luxury mansion. It's a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures come in the smallest packages. And for anyone who has ever doubted the allure of coins, the 1 Rand gold from 1968 is living proof that the combination of history, rarity, and beauty can create something truly priceless. So, next time you glance at a coin or hear about a rare collectible, remember this story. Remember the thrill, the connection to the past, and the incredible value that history can hold. And remember, if you want to keep uncovering treasures like this, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't miss out on discovering pieces of history that could be right in front of you, waiting to be recognized, admired, and cherished. The 1968 1 Rand gold coin isn't just a coin, it's a legend. It's proof that history, craftsmanship, and rarity come together to create something unforgettable. And for those lucky enough to hold it, it's a reminder that sometimes the past has a way of showing us just how valuable it really is. When you hold the 1962 1 Rand gold coin from South Africa, you're not just holding a piece of metal. You're holding a snapshot of history, art, and value, all in one small object. Imagine a moment in time during the early 1960s in South Africa, when the country was forging its own identity in the world, and at the same time issuing coins that would become prized by collectors many decades later. This coin was struck in 1962 during the so-called first decimal series of South African coinage, 1961 to 1964, a transitional period when the nation was moving away from its older currency system. Munstuck.com +1 at the time, the authorities decided to issue gold coins in small denominations, gold R1 and R2, partly as a symbol of prestige and partly for collectors and investors. Moro.si +2 onlinecoin.club +2 The coin weighs about 3.994 grams in total. Munstuck.com +2 onlinecoin.club +2 Its gold content is 22 carats, meaning it is 91.667% gold. That is 0.91667 fineness, with the remaining portion typically alloyed with copper to give durability and strength. Onlinecoin.club +2 Munstuck.com +2 The diameter is 19.50 millimeters, and its thickness is around 1.11 millimeters. Munstuck.com +2 onlinecoin.club +2 Its edge is reeded, milled, as is common on many coins of this style. Onlinecoin.club +2 Munstuck.com +2 On the obverse front face, you see the portrait of Jan van Riebeek, 1619 to 1677. The Dutch colonial administrator often considered a founding figure in the history of Cape Town and early European settlement in South Africa. Onlinecoin.club +1 The portrait faces forward, and along the shoulder or truncation, you can often see the initials WM, referring to Willie Myburgh, the die engraver responsible for that side. Munstuck.com +2 onlinecoin.club +2 Encircling the obverse is the motto in both English and Afrikaans. Unity is strength, and Eendrag maak mag. Onlinecoin.club +1 On either side of that motto design are small rosettes for balance. Onlinecoin.club On the reverse, backside, the coin features the springbok antelope, a graceful and iconic national symbol of South Africa. Onlinecoin.club +1 The designer was Coer Lawrence Steinberg, whose initials CLS appears subtly in the field near the design, often between S and the ground under the springbok. Onlinecoin.club +1 Above the springbok is the year 1962, flanked with decorative elements, and surrounding it are the words South Africa +1962 +Suid-Afrika. Onlinecoin.club Below the springbok is the denomination 1R, 1 Rand, flanked by small rosettes. Onlinecoin.club +1 This coin was issued in limited numbers. The total mintage for the 1962 1 Rand gold issue was 6,299 pieces, which includes proof coins. Munstuck.com +1 of those proof specimens accounted for 2,344 pieces. Onlinecoin.club +1 Because of that modest mintage, and because many have been saved, lost, or damaged over time, surviving high-quality specimens are relatively rare and much sought by collectors. Onlinecoin.club +1 Some specialist sources also distinguish between a yellow variety and a red variety of 1961 to 1962 coins, with the yellow variety commanding about 15% more value than the red variety. Muntstuck.com plus 2 Muntstuck.com plus 2. Although minted during that early 1960s era, coins of this type were still recognized as legal tender, even after subsequent issues of regular circulating rand coins. OnlineCoin.club plus 1 over time. However, their intrinsic bullion value far outstripped their face value, so in practice they ceased to be used in commerce. OnlineCoin.club plus 1, they were not demonetized. They technically remained legal tender, but nobody would tender them in daily transactions because their gold value is far higher than their nominal 1 rand status. OnlineCoin.club later, in 1967, the Krugerrand series was introduced, which gradually overshadowed these early gold rand coins in terms of bullion investment and collector demand. Wikipedia plus 2 OnlineCoin.club plus 2. The classic springbok motif used on those early rand coins was carried over into the Krugerrand design. OnlineCoin.club plus 1. To truly understand the appeal of this coin, you must consider condition, rarity, and provenance. A coin in mint or near mint condition will fetch a premium, especially if it is a proof example or a rare, yellow variety. Slight wear, scratches, or damage can reduce value significantly. Provenance and certification by coin grading experts also play a role, as cautious collectors pay more for coins with solid documentation. Now imagine how many collectors, investors, and history buffs would be drawn by hearing the story of this coin. A gold artifact from the dawn of decimal South African currency, beautifully designed, small in mintage, yet packed with symbolism and metal value. Describe the details of the portrait, the springbok, the rosettes, the delicate edge milling. Let your viewers see those features in their mind's eye. Explain how a coin of under 4 grams could command a commanding price because of rarity and demand, how the alloying copper adds robustness, how the engraving initials of the artist connect you to the men who created the dies nearly 7 decades ago. Invite viewers to imagine holding it, inspecting it, feeling its weight, admiring the glow of nearly pure gold. You can tell them how this coin stands at the crossroad between art, history, and finance. A relic of South Africa's shifting monetary system, a showcase of fine coin artistry, and a gold investment hidden in miniature form. You might draw comparisons to later gold coins like the Krugerrand, pointing out that this coin laid a design foundation for later issues. You could also evoke the rarity. Out of 6,299 minted, only a portion remain in high grade, and many may remain undiscovered or in private collections. For any collector aiming to own a piece of gold coin history from South Africa, this 1962 1 rand is a silent but powerful ambassador of that era. Let the audience feel the tension. Here is something small, no bigger than a coin you could put in your palm, yet it carries centuries of human ambition, artistry, and value. It is a time capsule, a small golden window into a forgotten era. Those who acquire it not only own a piece of gold, they own a piece of story, craftsmanship, and national legacy.